This almost became the flag of Belgium in 2008 when a Belgian artist decided to add the pixels blurring the lines between the stripes, symbolizing Belgium's interwoven cultures and languages. Another guy gave us this one 2 years later, and this 2011 proposal had 4 colors for Belgium's main communities. Which one of these is your favorite? I really like those two. Russia, on the other hand, could have had any one of these interesting flags. My favorite is this unique non-rectangular proposal from 1997 with red for the Byzantine Empire or Revolution. It had 10 white peas as a reference to the fictional Tsar of Peas from the Russian folklore. This other design has 21 stars for the 21 autonomous Russian republics. Luckily, Canada didn't choose any one of these weird and ugly proposals, but they did have this Pearson pennant proposal from 1964 with blue for French Canadians. It would make a cool regional flag, but not so much a national flag. Germany could have ended up with this white stripe across its tricolor, or maybe this vertical tricolor proposal. But they also had these Nordic crosses proposed as flags of Germany. I actually like those two, but their interior minister from 1948 suggested this flag, which seems to be inspired by the US banner. The United Kingdom had so many proposals showing the Scottish and English flags in different arrangements. There were so many attempts to try and add the Welsh flag in there. For example, this Welsh dragon was put in the middle for this proposal, and this other proposal had the flag of the patron saint of Wales, Saint David, on the Union Jack. Speaking of Wales, here are 3 proposed flags for the country. I'm very glad they went with the dragon instead of these boring ones. Israel also had several proposed flags as well. These 8 all come from the same guy in 1948. These other ones use yellow and a menorah, and this one right here was the flag proposed by the father of the political Zionism movement, Theodor Herzl himself, in the 1890s. Palestine, on the other hand, had so many versions proposed in 1929. All had the same pan-Arab colors with this symbol, a crescent with a cross inside. Many people thought of those other ones as possible Palestinian flags, all from 1929 as well. The one-state solution for Palestine and Israel of course came with some proposed flags as well. Here are 2 that they came up with, and they're not the best looking flags, but I guess they're not offensive to any side, or maybe they're equally offensive to everyone. Angola's best proposal was this colorful masterpiece, a sun design in the middle, which is meant to be reminiscent of the ancient cave paintings found in Angola. But it's unlikely to be adopted since the ruling Socialist Party loves their machete flag. From these 2 colorful stars to the Union Jack Love Fest on this one, South Africa's proposals are all over the place. Most of them are awful, and while a few of them are okay, I think South Africa made the right call with this one. And since Greenland is Danish, they had these Nordic Cross proposals beside the few weird ones we see here. And while this Nordic Cross is a cool looking flag, it went to the parliament for a vote and lost 11-14 in favor of the current flag. Finland had these cool designs proposed as their national flag, and it's funny to see the ones similar to Somalia and Catalonia, but this one here is my clear favorite. I love how it uses the national colors of red and gold that we can see on their coat of arms. Estonia's flag could have been this Nordic design instead of the triband they have now. I really love how this one looks, but maybe the triband fits better with the other Baltic states. But if both Latvia and Lithuania picked these proposals instead, then all Baltic states could have ended up with these beautiful Nordic crosses. Slovenia loves its mountains, as we can see on these banners put forward as potential flags. They also had some other different symbols in there, but almost all of them were red, white, and blue. And I love this one, but not as a national flag. It would be a great flag for a city though. And when it comes to Spain, there were a lot of red and yellow suggestions. Other ones had blue and yellow. But it seems that red and white were also popular, maybe influenced by the Cross of Burgundy flag, but regardless, Spain's coat of arms was present on all of them. Australia has more flag proposals than kangaroos and koalas. I like this one of the Eureka Stockade, which was basically a rebellion by miners over licensing fees. And before they went into battle, they swore loyalty to it as the flag of Australia. This other Southern Horizons flag is also not that bad, and this one has some Aboriginal influences and it looks cool. New Zealand also had its fair share of flag proposals. These 2 with the silver ferns are my favorites by far, and this one specifically if I had to choose one. And this fun laser-eyed Kiwi flag was put up for fun, and this other one is the flag for the native Maori people. And because the Portuguese historic flag was also blue and white, that's why we end up with proposals like these ones. And just like Portugal, Brazil's proposals all suck compared to the current flag. Maybe this one is an exception right here, but I think they made the right decision. Ukraine's 1917 and 1992 proposals were all ugly, while China's designs were all mostly red and yellow. Mao Zedong himself had this flag proposal for China, but they didn't end up choosing it because the yellow bar in there could have been seen as divisive. And while on the topic of China, Macau's proposals included these interesting designs, while Hong Kong had several cool ones, but this one is my absolute favorite. Taiwan is nearby and they also went over some design proposals. This one looks nice, but their current flag is great. Panama's iconic red, white, and blue flag is pretty cool, but the guy behind the Panama Canal used the US flag as basis for his proposal. He changed white to yellow, showing the country's connection to Spain and Colombia, and added two suns to represent the connection between North and South America. I don't like it at all. A unified Cyprus is kinda like a unified Korea. Who knows when that's gonna happen, if ever. But this flag was proposed for a hypothetical unified Cyprus. India, on the other hand, could have ended up with this one, proposed by a local newspaper and used for a bit in 1904. The different colors were supposed to symbolize the religions in India. Gandhi, on the other hand, had this one as his proposal. Then he changed it up a bit and sent it to be considered in 1921. Ireland's proposals were either their harp with local coats of arms, tricolors with crosses in the middle, or this one with a clover. So with everything considered, Ireland's tricolor today looks way better. When the Bahamas sent their flag to the British College of Arms for approval, Anthony Wagner proposed swapping the colors to this arrangement, but his recommendation was never adopted and the Bahamas went with this flag, which I think looks better. Croatians love their checkered pattern so much that both of their proposals in 1990 were using it. And although this one is the nicer one of the two, the current Croatian flag is great. These checkered patterns were also on the two flags proposed for the Czech Republic, the other one being the current flag with 3 stars. And I'm guessing these stars are for Bohemia, Moravia, and Silesia. In 2015, Fiji came up with a lot of designs to change its flags. The plans were later dropped when they won their first Olympic gold medal, which led to a lot of celebrations using the current flag. And in my opinion, these 3 designs were the best ones of the bunch. Egypt's 1952 revolution flag proposals were all ugly. They attempted to use the flag of the Kingdom of Egypt, which wasn't that great to start with, and this one right here was using the Nile Delta. In 1885, an Armenian Catholic priest and historian proposed these 2 Armenian flags, and in 1918, an Armenian painter designed this rainbow flag proposal. Let's just say I'm glad none of these took off. And similarly, considering these were the proposals for Uzbekistan, I'm glad they went with the choice that they have now. Iraq also tried changing the flag in 2004 too, and while I don't like the current Iraqi flag, this one isn't it. But if we replace the crescent with some other historical reference from ancient Mesopotamia, it could make it much better. This Russian-looking happy alligator flag was one of the 1962 proposals for Jamaica. Ironically though, the current Jamaican flag is the only flag in the world with no red, white, or blue. Going back to Central Asia, Kazakhstan is no different, and they had several proposals for their flag. And while I do like these 2, the country's current flag is much better in my opinion. These 2 other flags were proposed in 1948 for North Korea, and they also look very North Korean, but not having the red star seems kinda strange. Check out these proposals for Kosovo in 2008. While this one looks like a combo of Albania and the US, this other one makes me kinda sleepy with the swirly design in the middle. This 2009 Nepal flag is strangely beautiful, but I think they should keep the one they have since it's the most uniquely shaped flag in the world. In 1954, Suriname belonged to the Netherlands, so this was the proposal they had, using the Dutch flag with the green canton and a wheel with 7 spokes representing the 7 districts and communities. And they later had these 4 proposals when they gained their independence from the Netherlands in 1975. Out of the 5 proposals I could find for Vietnam, I really love those 2. This red and white one was proposed in 1938 by the National Restoration League, and this other beautiful proposed flag for Vietnam is from 1975. In my opinion, this 2003 Angolan proposal, as well as the 12th proposal for Hong Kong, the Baltic Nordic cross designs, and this one for Vietnam take the cake for sure. Let me know which one you think was a missed opportunity down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time on Council of Knowledge.